Well, good morning, everyone around the world. This call today is specific to Canada, and we have the Vice President of Canada and Asia on with us today, Lucy West. She is a massive problem solver. She is a worker. She goes 24/7. Um, I, her husband, we got to actually see him in person for the first time ever because she's always on the run by herself, going around the world helping everybody else grow a business. But Lucy has really made a huge difference in our Canadian growth, getting problems fixed. So let's address one that we know was going on yesterday that we now know is officially fixed, and that is because some of our products still come from the US to Canada, NFR, there is a limitation on how much you could buy. So for anybody that had ordered Advantage during the month, you were not able to create a smart link with the new packs nor order the new packs. So that has now been rectified. And Lucy or Reese, you can give us the exacts on that, but I think it's going to be clean now from this point forward. They'll be able to order those packs the rest of the month.
Yesterday afternoon it got fixed, so it was turned on yesterday afternoon. And I think all the single packs on Wednesday went live at about 2 p.m. Mountain Time in the afternoon as well. So when you're rolling out new products and everything, you learn a lot every time you do it. And you just get better and better and better at doing it. And it's an interesting way you have to navigate the system when you're dealing with NFR. Like, we can't talk about profit and they've got limits, but we can fix things. So if I'm not fixing it, Reese usually is. He's sort of, we've adopted you, Reese.
Well,
Thank
you
you.
have made it so much easier, Lucy. As Todd said, Lucy was the game changer up there for us in Canada. Getting things lined up, not discounting what other people had done in the past, but we just needed that next step. Sometimes you have to have those leaders to have that next step. You have to have that corporate staff, and Lucy is that. Lucy has been absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, like things like that happened over the weekend, not being able to order. I mean, even being limited, Lucy, Canada still
Oh my gosh.
kicked butt.
Because they're pioneers. They know how. They know they're tough. I mean, and I have three nationalities. I'm British, I'm Canadian, and I'm American. So, depending on where I am in the world, that's I don't know why I'm in APAC. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Same thing with the last company, how I got moved over there. It's because it's probably got a lot of complications, especially registering products. So, oh, let Lucy fix it type of thing. But one thing about Canada is I have worked it before for a previous company and we did extraordinarily well. So it's not a surprise that they're doing well. It's not a surprise that we can't find a way, but it's an everyday making sure, that, like, we just got our site license. We should never have lost that in the first place. But if you're not paying attention, you know, these things can happen. And Canada now is probably the fifth largest country region in the world for us, after Europe and the United States and Japan and China. And that's for a country that's massive with a small population, that's pretty good. But what's also known is that what's out of whack is you'll probably pay higher commissions in Canada than any other country because people can branch out and go all over the world. Like, we have our new group from India that's down in Edmonton who are building in Europe, and you can all see people. I'm talking to people all the time about Australia. There's Australians actually are building in Canada, so vice versa. But normally they can branch out because that's such a diverse country with people coming and fairly recently from all over the world and getting excited. There's a huge group there from Bangladesh in Calgary. There's a huge group from India and Toronto. What we haven't touched yet, which is really interesting for me, is really the Chinese group that was in the last company I worked for. We did probably about 500,000 a month in Vancouver and about 1 million a month in Toronto, just to let you know the potential that's out there. And we are the company, one of the few in the world that actually has a license in mainland China. So when I say we're just getting started last May, I mean we are still, and sometimes we have to get restarted. Like, I would say it's kind of a restart when you get your day and night jobs because of your mindset, the way you can do the business. Hey, you can talk about profit now, which everybody was very quiet about before, and like didn't want to stick their head out of the foxhole. But now you can do that. And as we go forward, we're just hoping at this point, we'll take any product as another on the ground product. So whichever one they can register, and some of them are more complicated. But what we have in the pipeline is we have Finale. We had it, but again, the license expired, which it should never have happened. But I think they changed manufacturers, and that means that we have to do a whole new registration. So if corporate wise anything happens, the capsule size changes, the label, any change whatsoever, you can't do a modification in Canada. It is a re-registration, which can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So we're getting smarter. We're getting a crew now that's a lot more accustomed to working with Canada. We do weekly touch bases just to make sure that we're not letting anything fall between the cracks. So that's one side of what we're doing for Canada. The other part, which, I love it when corporate comes along and they have all this data and they have all this KPIs. And I've been in this industry for 37 years. And I can say the one thing that they will never get from the data is understanding the people. Who's working in what part? Who are the leaders? Who's really building teams? That when you get out on the road and you get to hang out with the people, meet the people, party with the people, have a drink with the people, or whatever it is, dance with the people, take a walk, whatever it is that. And the other part is you got to keep it fun, and you got to have a little bit of mystery, and you got to keep it entertaining. It can never get complacent. It can never get boring. And you're never going to get that out of a KPI. So, we're always going to make sure that we have fun up in Canada and we keep it interesting. And, if we can't do something in the United States, if you can't go through the mountain, round the mountain, we'll go over the mountain. So, like if we can't get the lifestyle credits, we will get them when we're out on our road show, which is going to make the close that much easier. And anytime you're out doing any meeting, and Todd, you can jump right in, and anyone, at the end of every meeting, it is a waste of your time if you don't have a call to action. From what I see, every Zoom that you can have a very nice conversation with someone, but if you don't have a call to action at the end, you've wasted maybe 15, 20 minutes. And you guys are the expert leaders that I have here. So we will have a really good call to action at the end of each one of our road shows. And they're not big training road shows, so don't panic, because Todd, I think you're staying a few extra days in places. You'll be doing some training either before and after. What the real Discover, which I'm told it's called Discover Roadshow. That's Sarah. Thank you for making the posters for that. It's really about belief. I think if the one thing I heard walking away from Dallas, Texas, and you were all there, is if you're new and you're coming into a company, what I call it's like a plant, you don't really have roots, in which case wind, rain, anything can knock you over. The deeper your roots go, the stronger you're going to be, and the more you're going to be able to, not everything's going to be perfect, like looking for smart links yesterday, trying to find your products in the shop. That is life in the fast lane building, and we try and fix it. So the more you grow belief, the deeper your roots will grow, and they will be loyal to you. They'll be loyal to the product. They'll be loyal to the company. And when their belief is strong enough, like I watch people when they're talking to people, if their belief level is at 150%, people want to listen to what they have to say. People want to sign up with them, like just hang out with Christy or with Risha, or it ain't just follow them around. And man, and so that's what we want with these meetings, is we want to grow people's belief. And we also want to feel like in Canada, it's very important that everybody feels that they are accepted and that they're welcome and that they're part of Partnerco. Whether you have a big role or a small role is up to you as a leader. So that's kind of where I am. I do want to, just before we go to the Canadian leaders, I have to ask this question, and it's like going back to Dallas. Can I ask this question really quick? So we're leaving Dallas, and I go to the airport, and I usually fly Delta just because I'm a million miler, and I'm actually it's easier, like I can put like 3 suitcases on. So I'm at the airport and I'm checking into Delta, and I'm wearing my Partnerco sweatshirt for Partner Council. And the girl who was checking me in says, Partnerco. She goes, I just signed up with them. And I said, you did? She goes, yeah, one of these girls was checking in her suitcase and it weighed so much yesterday. I said, what have you got in your suitcase? And that opened the door for her to tell her all about the products. And she landed up buying, I think it was 2 boxes of drops, but her name was Debbie somewhere. So, Debbie, if you're on this call, would you please let me know in the chat? I mean, you've got 457 people. There is a good chance that it was somebody that's on this IPA. I'm still trying to find her because I was just like, talk about making the most of, like most people would say, Heavy, I'm terribly sorry. And she's like, no, let me tell you about my products. That was so cool. So good for you, whoever did that. So back to Canada. If Sarah, if you find out who that was, I really want to know, okay?
Okay, most definitely.
Thank you. So I know it was Debbie or Deborah or somebody like that. So back to Canada. I think that, I always need help with Canada because the complicated way of doing the business up there, you all know it extraordinarily well. You're eating, breathing. I want to thank you for communicating what you need as well. And it's really nice now. More of the communication is about what we need to fix for Canada rather than turning each other in for selling drops. Now that you can sell drops, this is a healthier place to be. And I'm super excited to meet up with you guys at the meeting. I can see Carol's on here. Carol, I would get to see you in Edmonton. So that's super exciting. And, watching all the ones. And Mary, I will reach out to you again because we're going to need help in Calgary. So we're going to need that taken care of. And Billy, I know you and Shorty as well. So Todd, I will hand it, or whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, let's walk through some of the fundamentals. Reese, are you in position you could share your screen?
I maybe can.
Okay. So let's just walk through a couple of things real quick. And Christy, Billy, all you guys, I want y'all to do this, but let's walk through like the sign up process from the 29.90 or the 37.95 Canadian to sign up, the packs that y'all are showing, and then that's on the ground. And then like if they go set an auto ship up with like Moa and Renew or something like that, how they have to then go to the black bag. Would y'all mind, whoever wants to, and everybody can chime in on it, walk us through how you're doing that because it's quite complicated. And I find myself answering that question for people 3, 4, 5 times every day.
I could go. I
Go
can share.
ahead.
So a key thing to know if you're enrolling someone in Canada is that we really have limited products in our Canadian cart. So if you're listening to this and you're in the USA, in the US, you can enroll and add products in the cart all in the same transaction. And we can do that now in Canada. So the enrollment is $38.95. And we can do that now. But what you need to know is that the products that you have that you can add to your enrollment in that same transaction are limited. So we really, my go-to is the 10 pack of drops. And so the other thing to know is that we actually don't have a 30 pack yet. That's my key word there, yet, right, Lucy? We
Well,
don't have a
you can buy 3 10 packs.
right, but what I'm getting at is that we don't have a 30 pack with a bigger margin of savings. So
Right.
you can add 3 in your cart, right? So we've the biggest pack that we have is a 10 pack. And so you go to is that 10 pack, 20 pack, 30 pack, if you can, depending on where somebody's getting in at, and know me. And so those are really 2 key products that we have up here. We have others. We have the roller for the skin. We've got some other things, but I would say that those are really your key products that you can drive your business with are the day and night drops and the noni. So just be aware of that when you go to enroll. You're not going to find the MOA, you're not going to see those things, but what you can do, so Todd mentioned that in terms of a subscription. So myself, I'm a great example. I have the MOA and Renew on subscription. So if I was going to enroll somebody and let's just say as a product user, someone who's going to use the product, let's just say, or any kind of brand partner, I guess, doesn't matter, and you want to go in and they want to get on MOA and Renew, you would proceed through the enrollment transaction. You would add their day and night drops, whatever quantity they're going to choose. You would add it to the cart and proceed without a subscription. And then you would go back in and you could create the subscription right away. The other option that I will advise people to do is to go ahead and just add a product to cart for the subscription, because then you know they're automatically already set up on their color week, and then go in and edit it right away as well. So it's kind of here nor there, but if you're familiar with how to enroll somebody, those are the two ways that I would do that. But you're going to have to go back in and create that subscription after the fact, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so when you go to set that subscription up, walk us through. You got to go to the American flag and then the black bag to do the subscription to get that MOA Renew subscription coming out of the US.
Yes. Yeah. So a big thing that people don't understand about the website is that, and Reese has got it on his screen, is that you've got to flip the flag when you are shopping in Canada. So for example, if you did have somebody in Canada that you're enrolling and they've got their day and night drops on order, but they want to get Mow and Renew, they would need to go in through the cart, through the subscription manager. I think Reese is pulling it up there. And you would need to change the country. So you would need to go into like the market. So if you're on your phone, it's trickier. I don't like to do anything on my phone when it comes to this stuff, but it's market and language kind of at the bottom of the screen. But if you're on a desktop like Reese is right now, you would go to the North America tab, and then you would scroll down, and you would find the ship from US to CA, and you would choose that, and then you would go ahead and add and create your subscription with whatever products it is that you're deciding. So Reese, maybe because you're right there on the screen, do you want to just say, walk through the steps?
Yeah. So we'll just take it back. I was kind of walking through as Billy was talking. But this is how, the products we normally want to put on subscription are going to be inside of that black bag site. So we call it the black bag because if you see right here, it looks like a black bag. So when you click on that, or on the phone, it'll say market and language. We go to North America, as Billy said, and then we're going to go to ship from US to Canada. Once you're there, it's going to bring you back out. If you're in the back office, the dashboard, I highly recommend always doing all your subscriptions inside of Subscription Manager. We really don't want to do it from the cart itself in the shop side just because of the way it lines up. This way, it makes sure you get on your color week. And so we're going to add new subscription. Remember, I'm on my black bag site, and so it's going to show me everything available. And generally, it's going to show. It's got everything that pretty much the U.S. market has that we can get across the border. And so you've got the 100 PV packs, but everything's listed in Canadian dollars here. So depending on what you wanted to do, MOA Renew, anything like that, that's, here's Rejuvenex Renew. A lot of us run MOA Renew. Christy, Billy, what do you guys recommend a lot of times as add-on products? Because a lot of times we're doing this with the drops. And you can even do Max 2.0 and Everglow now. So you can
And
throw those on.
Reese,
Yes.
I'm not sure what screen you might be trying to share, but you're sharing a back office right now.
Oh, it's like, I'm looking at it on my phone and it's showing me what I'm in.
I see the products.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
good deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
see
it
the
means my
product.
Zoom's
Yeah.
messing up. Okay, no worries, no worries.
It's your
Continue.
Zoom. As
Reese,
soon
you're
as I
showing
shared
us your paycheck.
Yeah. It's the right one. I'm just noticing a pack that I need to fix there. Nobody needs to be importing a bottle of Tahitian noni.
Yeah, I saw the
I'm
noni
sorry.
on there.
Sorry.
So the satchels are okay. Yeah, but so
Noted.
this is always my go-to, anyways. Is just the Mower Renew because that is something we use in our household. Again, this is just like any other subscription. Once you're here, you're just going to add to cart. And then you can go through continue to checkout, and it's going to default to your correct week. You can name your order and run through it all the way. So you make sure, well, it's going to require all kinds of things. So here, we'll just throw this in here. I'm not going to go all the way through. Oh, and if you're US, it's not going to let you. So I'm not even going to try that. So
Yeah,
has
I
to
was
have a
gonna say.
Canadian,
Um,
Canada. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say, Reese, that I do have some people that have a box of drops, the Canadian drops, day and night drops
Yeah.
on subscription. But everybody needs to remember that that is only worth 76 PV. So they need to go back in and set up another subscription for that same exact color week for one of the NFR products. So a lot of times we have the day and night drops for 76, and then, yeah, a box of Renew or a bottle of Rejuvenex. And make sure you always sit down with your brand partners or and see what their needs are and then match them up with one of the products. We have something for everyone. And now with these new products, you can do that. But just make sure it's on the same color week and they only edit their subscriptions. Do not delete them.
So
Yeah.
they do have a couple of ones. They have like day and night drops and 2 bottles of Tahitian noni, or you can get 2 boxes
Right.
of day and night drops, which is 100 PV as well.
Yeah.
Depending on whether you want simple, that's my subscription out of the Canada shop. For new people, that might be better because then you got to teach them to keep going to all these other shops as they get in
Yep.
and
Yep.
get roots growing. However, then there's the whole thing about being able to place orders down the line, which is very
Mhm.
for people who've never been in another company. Normally, they don't allow you to do that, as you
Yeah.
are allowed, and it's almost encouraged here as well, which I think is super smart because we are so customer focused. So there we are.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
right here, this is the actual Canadian. This is the Canadian site. So you can set this subscription up. This is what this one right here is, the one
Yeah.
that Lucy was just talking about. But what Christy was saying, if you do want to do 1 box of drops, and this is where it kind of gets a little complicated, you're going to have to set a subscription for this one and then change your flag back over to the black bag and then put something in for that remaining PV to qualify you. But
As
I
long
definitely
as
like
it's in your color week, right? As long as
yes,
both those subscriptions are in your color week, you're good. It's
yep.
considered, it doesn't matter whether you got 3 coming in or 2 or whatever. Doesn't have to be the same day, does have to be the same week.
But I highly suggest whichever one you choose, I would just do 1 subscription either in the NFR cart, or I would do it here, like Lucy said, with a Tahitian noni, and then order your other stuff as just normal orders, placing volume down, like Lucy was saying, because that is how our system works, is being able to place those volume. That's the way this whole company works, is being able to help the person under you, being able to help the person at the bottom, and it helps everybody. So that's the true thing of partnership marketing, is the fact that we're able to do that. And that, as Lucy was saying, that's not normally a thing that you can do, but it is what drives the system.
Yeah.
Also,
One
Chris and
thing-
Joni Bud have their hand up.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, hey,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Joni, can you talk about the sign up, like the 20 pack and the 500 PV pack?
Can you just go back to that page a second?
Yeah.
I just wanted to also mention for the new people that are setting up an auto ship that when you're ordering those drops, if you want to order more than 1 on a monthly subscription, there's a little pull down right beneath it. Do not click on the picture of the drops or any of the products.
Yeah.
Because when you click on the picture, it will take you out of your subscription and over to the order page, and the order will be processed immediately.
Yeah.
So that's something we're actually working on changing with IT right now.
Yeah, Joni, we have it now. We just had it set where now they can't even click on that picture.
Oh, good. So they did do it already?
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's just a temporary fix. Eventually, this is going to look just like our shopping site as well. Everything's going. That's what we're trying to work towards.
Reese, are you sure they did it for the NFR cart?
I don't know. Let me check the NFR. That's
Yeah.
a good question.
Yeah.
So the NFR cart is a black bag. It looks like a little shopping bag, and it says ship from USA to Canada. So we used to be able to order both the drops and any other product under the NFR cart. Now that we have the drops on the ground in Canada, they're no longer NFR. So just to clarify, these are 2 separate pages. So you're going to have 1 subscription for your drops in Canada and 1 subscription for the other product in the NFR black bag shipped from USA to Canada.
Yeah, you can't click on them. So
Right.
John and them got rid of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, because that was causing a
Yes.
lot of issues.
Oh my gosh. The other issue that we see often is somebody goes and they Google Partnerco Canada, and up comes the website. And it looks like it's our company website. They then start putting in their information, and as they get to the checkout, suddenly they're sponsored by somebody they don't even know. And that's because ads pop up on Google, like the top Partnerco. So you've got to make sure, if you're going to be sending somebody to your website, use a smart link. That is the safest way. Don't tell them to go to Partnerco and suddenly they're in somebody else's organization. And we take them down all the time. We watch it, but they go up faster than we can sometimes manage them. And so we don't want that to happen to people. So now that you can all do smart links with everything, that's a much safer way to do it. Joni, can you just walk through people what you do when you're, because I know you use the ultimate packs a lot, and your request to me was, well, you wanted us to be able to mix the NFR and the OTG, and we can't do that. So what we did was created a way for you to like choose a 20 pack, two 10 packs, which is like a 1,000 PV, and then go to the NFR cart and buy one of our new packs that has 500 PV. And we have 3 new packs, and they all have a free product. And the reason they have a free product is to help your new customer who might be saying, why am I paying twice for shipping, which is what you've all been dealing with. And you can say, well, the NFR one has a free product to help you with the shipping. So that's the theory
Yes,
behind that.
I can talk on that.
Yep.
So prior to getting the drops on the ground in Canada, we were able to buy 500 PV packs, 1,000 PV packs, and 1,500 PV packs that included the drops and all these other products. And what I loved most about that is we could go sell the drops and it would cover the cost of all of our other products, right? So that we could try all these amazing products and recommend them to our customers. But now that the shopping carts are separate, we can still do the same thing. We just have to order them separately. So if you went out and ordered 2 10 packs on the Canadian cart, and then you went and ordered one of these new 500 PV packs, when you go sell your 2 10 packs, again, it's going to cover the cost of trying these other products, right? It just doesn't come in one kit. So we just need to think about it that way. And what a great way to go out and try all of these new products without even having to pay for them. That's something I love so much too about being able to order, a 3 or 4 pack of drops on an auto ship, sell 3, yours is free, right? So you always want to think about how you can get these products at a discount, how you can try more products instead of thinking, oh, it's going to cost me all this money. No, just get some drops and sell them, and it covers the cost of your product.
Yeah. And I think I can tell this to everybody now because it's Friday and you're going into another week. So next Thursday, we have our Canadian Roadshow. And part of the deal was down in Dallas, Texas, is they were saying that if you bought an ultimate pack, you get 15,000 lifestyle credits. And they've announced Maui, and Maui is a lot of different lifestyle credits. So for the days that we're all at the roadshow, from Thursday all the way through to, I think it's October the 3rd, every time somebody buys a 10 pack, they will get 5,000 lifestyle credits. And I'm telling you that now, so you're not beating me up on Thursday saying, we bought them the day before. So you will get, so if you bought a 30 pack, you get 15,000 lifestyle credits. So that will be available going live on Thursday. So the first one will be Victoria, but it'll be all over Canada. You don't have to be at the event to get that. So if you could try and get that out there to people.
Yeah, let's be careful about announcing that before next Thursday. Let's don't stop all sales.
I think we
better not announce that until the time comes.
That they bought the 10,000 or the 10,000, they bought the pack before and it goes into the same week. So, if they can, yep. All right. Well, I'll let you manage that, Todd, but I'm sharing that
Joni,
now.
I'll let you and Christy and Michelle, y'all manage that. I know the downside of that.
You know what I love about promotions is that they're here now. Take advantage of them. Don't wait. You can always sell more drops. Like, we never have enough drops. We never run out of people to sell these drops to. So I would just focus on the current promotions that we have right now. Get your hands on as much as you can. Try these products. Recommend them to your customers and your brand partners. Make sure everybody knows about them. Focus on having the biggest week that you can have. The one thing that will kill a business is sandbagging, which means holding off on things until the next week. Like, even when new brand partners say, oh, well, I don't want to sign up right now. I want to wait till Saturday so I've got more time to go ultimate. My answer to them is always, like, a few days won't make a difference. I'm telling you, I will help you get there. And the most important thing is that you just start posting now and get those customers buying from you before they go buy from somebody else, right? It's momentum. It's always speed. It's always see how much you can get in the system this week, right now, and take advantage of what's happening right now.
Yeah, and that Joni, that's a good point. That's for everybody, because I know when I first came in, that was one of the things. I'm like, oh, I'm going to hold everybody till, if they want to sign up on Friday, I'm going to hold them till Saturday. But the problem with that is think about it. How many times are people going to go back and think about it when you told your significant other or your parents or your siblings, hey, I'm going to do this. What they say, you're getting scammed, whatever. Guess what? Now they're second guessing themselves. So when they're ready to sign up, when they're ready to buy drops, you don't sandbag. It's just, it's not, you lose business that way.
And we're running the same promotions as the United States. So they've got the full throttle, and they've also got the, what did we call it now? Ultimate Unlock, which I think is a
Yep.
much better name. So
That's a really big one. If all the leaders can learn how to push the ultimate unlock correctly, what that is we have this unlimited time frame that anybody that did not make ultimate can now, the computer system will read it and everybody can run for ultimate again. But you got to really push that out to get it out to the ends of the world that, the people that really need to hear it probably are not paying attention very well.
And for those that do not know what that is, I put in chat the flyer for that. Guys, I do have a quick question for you all. Say someone from the United States is wanting to build their business in Canada. Is there a call that we could personally join to listen in, or is there a call that we can send our prospects to potentially?
this one.
There are several calls. Our leaders are all doing their own calls. So Christy does a call, Risha does a call, and Chris and I and Bob do a call weekly.
Yeah. Then you have the Canadian call on every other Wednesday.
It's not really a building call though.
Yeah.
It's more of here's what the loyalty products are. And like I'm going to get Troy on the next one to talk about the IT updates. We do recognition, which is pretty important to people as well. And then of course we'll talk about road shows or anything else that's important to Canada if we've just got a new product approved or something like that. But it's not how to do business in Canada. We kind of leave that up to you.
And Michelle Z does calls as well.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the teams, the different teams do their own call on how to do that. So definitely.
I wanted to bring up one other difference. Because of the NFR cart, we always talked about putting points downline in your downline's office. We cannot do that in Canada in the NFR cart because they're technically not for resale. So we can now in the Canadian cart with the 10 packs of drops, which is really, really nice because you can go in your own back office, order that 10 pack or that ultimate pack, and then place the PV in your new brand partner's office. But if you're wanting to do that in the NFR cart, you cannot do that. But we do have workarounds. Like all Canadians, we have figured everything out. And so you can still go and do that, but then you can have the PV moved over just by emailing into PartnerCo. So there is a workaround for that.
Christy, let me add just to that. If you can with your brand partner, if you are trying to place it downline, have them place it in their back
Yes.
office, or you that way, like if you do have to move PV, that's one thing. If we can avoid moving it through emails and calling in and
Yes.
tying up the lines, let's do that. The other side of that we see a lot of when you're doing that, as soon as you start moving PV around, it really starts messing with the volume reports and being able to
It
see
does.
everything.
And it takes a while. It's not immediate.
And so when that happens, people are your lines are supposed to be flipping, they're not flipping or whatever, and people don't know. So it really, and I think there's several on this call right now that can talk through. I know Chris and Joni and I and Christy and all of us, we have spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks making sure we got people's PV right. But when you can't see it in the tracker, it makes it very, very difficult. And so when you move PV, it's very hard to see it in the tracker. So if you can do it in their back office, do it that way. Have them order it or you order through their back office.
So talking about trackers, all the new initiatives that we launched in Dallas also are in the Canadian back office. So the tracker for the trip only shows, like the 25,000 lifestyle credits you'll get from the extra 5,000 on a pay line. All the other little ways that you earn for the lifestyle credits, that's not showing in the US and that's not showing yet. That was like step one, the most important way. Like I think 80% of the people, or maybe even higher, earn the trips from the increased pay line volume, and it shows the base and it shows where you are. So just in case people are asking in Canada or the US or whatever, it will happen, but it's way more complicated all the other little ways. Like every time you title up, remember you get like 200 lifestyle credits. Those are all missing right now and they will be added, and eventually people will be able to see how many lifestyle credits they have. But the most important one, and the one that's going to give people you know, the fastest way to get to Maui, which I think is really great for Canada because it's cold up there. And especially when we're there in November, December for sure, Maui's going to be a really attractive destination for everybody. So that'll be fun being able to promote that like crazy too.
Yeah, I can't believe the points for Maui. Like it is such a good trip for the points that we have to give up for that, that we have to give for that. It is absolute. It's like an epic a trip on its own. But anyways, that tracker, that's another thing about partner code. That's another thing about IT. I mean, they listen to everything we have to say. They take into account what the field's going through. So I have to, even though everything's not there, it is a huge step in the right direction, being able to track that. And just a note on that, there's actually a drop down. So if you're looking to try to go as two people, it has all the tiers in there. So you can select the tier two people with flights, and it will show you what you need for two people with flights.
So just one more little thing to say about the day and night drops, which is kind of interesting because we weren't sure how the switchover was going to happen or whatever. And I didn't even get the day and night drops. I think it was until the end of July, but I've lost 8 pounds on the Canadian day and night drops. And it is just, I mean, I'm like, I don't crave sugar. I don't crave carbs. It's not that it doesn't take a little bit of self-discipline. Everything does, but that's me. And I really wanted to just sample them out and do them. And I feel amazing. Pickleball has improved. Everything's improved. But when I was there, it was Kim Gray who like calls me over and goes, Miss Lucy, she goes, you need to send me some more of those Canadian day and night drops. And I go, Kim, I sent you a couple boxes. She goes, I need more. So Kim needs to share her own story. And I think we're all different, all of our metabolisms. And for some people, if you've got a choice, great. But otherwise, you know, like Julie Park calls and go, how do I bring them back? I said, Julie, why would you call me and ask me how do I get product shipped down to the US? I said, you just do your own thing. I don't need to know about that. So I think now we're seeing the advantages, and for some people, the daytime and the nighttime and the finding a rhythm. I think the easiest thing for everybody are new people. If you've, you know, really been with the US drops, that's a hard change because you've got your story. But if you've never known about them, people are having amazing results now. So Todd, when we're out there in the meetings, I think, you know, what we really want to do is pull the new people out of the crowd who have lost weight on the day and night drop and are feeling great too, and start getting some new stories. So that's one of the goals while we're out doing the road show, is to see, you know, where are they? Because not everybody just sends them in or lets you know that they've, you know, had this, and it's only been a couple of months too. So we need, you know, the longest stories, but excited about that.
So let's talk about, before we get off, we've talked about the complications of Canada. Really amazing how you guys overcame everything. It blows my mind, actually. But there's two real benefits of Canada. One is Canada is the gateway to the world. So very quickly, for those that build business in Canada, you're going to have business throughout Europe, into China, into Australia, all of those places, as many you have already. So anybody wants to comment on that? And then the other big thing with Canada is everybody there should be in the business as a brand partner, not a customer, because of the exchange rate coming back to you. It costs more to buy the product, but you get a 40% add-on on every paycheck every Friday. It really is mind-boggling. So for those of us in the US, we're capped at $2,000 a week. Canadians get almost $3,000 a week. And when you get that $10,000 bonus check in Canada, it's 14,000.
Yeah.
And basically every 10,000 you make in our company, you're getting 14,000 Canadian dollars. So the selling point of getting paid in the American dollar up there would, if I lived in Canada permanently and was building there exclusively, that would be my number one selling point, is getting the money flow back that direction. So anything that anybody wants to comment there, please do.
And full throttle, that's going to pay you, that's American dollars. So that will be higher in the Canadian as well when they earn that bonus.
Yeah, I guess sometimes I see people, even Canadians, that are trying to sign people up in Africa and trying to sign people up in China, and they don't really know them and they don't speak the language. And my advice is sign up your next door neighbors, sign up the people in your community. They're going to refer you those people. They speak Chinese, they have family in China. It will naturally go there. You need to be focused on your own backyard, and it's just going to grow from there. That's all I have to say.
I agree, Joni. And one thing that I wanted to let all Canadians know, we're just getting started. This last, 16 months, 15 months before we had the drops, that was just laying the foundation. And I know a lot of people have gotten frustrated and stuff, but if they just take a look that our start was the beginning of July when we launched these drops, and go from there. So we've gotten through all the bumps and humps and we've worked our way through everything. And now we can just go full throttle and build our businesses, talk to everybody. Not, Canada's a huge country with a smaller population, but we just got to let them know, because even my next door neighbor, I thought she probably watched my Facebook. But the other day I was talking about Dallas and she's like, well, what are you doing? Like, she had no clue that I was selling drops and that this was a legit business. So, I mean, we're just getting started, and talk to the people. And if you're feeling frustrated, restart. Today, it is never too late to restart. We had so many restarts over the last year. We restarted when they put the restrictions on our ordering the packs. We restarted when Lucy came to us. Then we restarted again when we got the drops. So today is day one. No more frustration, and reach out to your uplines. Reach out to Chris and Joni. Reach out to me, Risha, Bob, whoever you have, reach out to them and let's get started again, because Canada is wide open.
Jump in, Shorty.
Hey guys, literally what's happening is we are just going through some growing pains. And I promise you, if this was running like a Swiss watch already, the opportunity is no longer the same.
Yeah.
So embrace this point in this company's history. Do all you can do, action, action, and action. And once it's running like a Swiss watch, it'll be really, 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 really good for us all. Thanks.
Amen, Shorty.
You've met Darren Zobrist, and John Wadsworth. I'm going like, where do these two find the time to send out? Their bar for all of us internal executives, their bar is so high. The Swiss watch is a great comparison because, they're reading like every book they have on excellence. They're talking to every network that they can. They talk to you. So they are very, very involved owners. And, Darren, if you want to see him like his eyes go wide, it's when there's not operational excellence. And obviously we have a long way to go. But if you think about 2.5 years, we're a global company that was a really big mess 2.5 years ago. I don't, ask Todd about that. They've cleaned it up. We passed a global audit, which is huge. Most companies could never pass a global audit. They have really good accountants, really good financing. We're profitable. We're positioned. So that is the strategy of the company to really get ready so that, the 2.5 years, 3-4 years, and then the momentum starts. So you do want to make sure, like if we're going to Ontario, don't wait. Start reaching out to people who might have people in Ontario now, because if not, somebody else is going to sign them up. That's where we're at with the business. And if you know that Reese is going to be there, I'm going to be there, Todd's going to be there, Christy's going to be there, Kim McDermott's going to be there, it's going to be a great meeting. So, plug your people in, but let us know, because we will protect your people as well. You don't want to ever just send somebody to a meeting without somebody knowing to look for them and make sure that they don't get signed up in someone else's team. That's the business we're in. So if you've got somebody that's going to a meeting, make sure you let one of us know so that we can reach out and we can take care of them for you. And they can have a great experience.
Hey, Todd, I want to say something real quick as I know we're over, but I want to remind you guys about Darren saying this is the soul Partner Co has soul. So also, I love that part, but you guys have soul. So, I feel like Canada is my second home now, and you guys have grit. You have grit and soul like I've never seen before. But also remind you, have fun. This is an amazing gift. We are in momentum, and don't forget to offer this gift to everybody, because it is a gift. have fun. I just got finished texting Billy and Ann. We have fun. I love those girls, telling them how, look at your skin. It's glowing. It's glowing. We're talking about the Everglow.
Yeah.
But Chris and Joni, I just handed out 25 packets of Max 2.0 at pickleball this morning. So
Oh,
I had
great.
fun. I don't feel great. But I said, I'm going to play pickleball because I'm handing out those packets, right? So I told everybody, because I barely have a voice, I said, don't forget to hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate. And everybody loved it. They were like, oh my gosh. And I said, I want you to tell me what you think. So just remember, y'all, you're having fun, but you're helping people. There's so many people on those courts that are dehydrated, right? So they need the products. And so these are going to be great add-on products to the drops, but have fun and remember and be proud. You guys be proud of yourself. You've got grit, you've got soul. You are building a business that is putting Canada on the mark.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing it. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you.
The last thing I want to say, Chris, Joni, I know one of y'all have your hands up, so y'all jump in and finish the call off. But I just want to go back to what you kind of were saying about Darren and John, their commitment to excellence. The thing as a corporate person, the thing that gives me so much confidence in this company is the fact that Darren Zobrist says we're going to $1 billion.
Yeah.
If Darren Zobrist says that, just go research his history if you don't already know it. If he says we're doing that, we're doing that. So you know we are going there. He is not going to stop until we're above that. So I look for us to be in a $10 billion company, to be honest. We could be the absolute one of the biggest. And it is because of the drive of John and Darren. As Todd says, you can't outgrow your leadership. We can't catch our leadership. So
Amen. Can I say something before Chris and Joni? Because I
Go
know
ahead.
they're gonna put a big cherry on top of this. I just want, if you're in Canada, can you type, if you're watching this call, can you put Canada in the chat? Just type Canada or me or something. And I want you to think about the people on this call. There's 400 or so on this call, but you guys, somebody has to go first. Somebody has to go first. And there are millions of people in this country, and you are the first. And you get to decide whether you're going to stick and stay and stick it out through, really all these things that we're going through are, in the end, you're going to look back and laugh at how funny it is that, all of the little hoops that have had to be jumped through. But remember, like, think about 10, 15, 20 years from now, are you going to, like, the pain of going through these growing pains is going to be nothing compared to the pain of regret if you don't stick it out. So think about that and know that, like, you're the first, you're here, you're on this call, and you are one of the first people that gets to pioneer Partner Co in Canada. So I just wanted to say that.
I just want to mention quickly, this industry has cycles. We're going to cycle 4 this year. The fall is the most exciting time to be building this kind of business. And it always takes off. Like, I've never seen a year in this industry where in the fall it didn't take off. And it already started. It actually starts beginning of September when kids go back to school and all that stuff. So it's already happening. If you can't feel it yet, don't worry, it's coming. It takes time. It builds up, builds through October into November, and culminates in an amazing finish to the year. And people's paychecks explode this time of year. It's just the time to be doing this business. And, it's now or never.
So we just got back from PXP. The first thing we did, or we're trying to do, is wipe clean our Bristol board, our whiteboard. And we must have used a permanent marker. It's not coming off, but we're working on it. But I guess that's a good thing, because we did accomplish all the goals that were on our whiteboard, and we're going to do it again. But my point here is everything starts with a decision. And you guys have to get off this call and make a decision what you're going to do with this business and what you want. And those thoughts are things. They are powerful. What you put in your mind and put on your whiteboard and what you focus on every day. And so I would put your annual goal for PXP next year. You should definitely have Hawaii on your board. That should be a goal. It is attainable. It is much easier than you think. When we first got in this industry, we went straight up to we hit Rookie of the Year. I said, somebody's got to win it. It might as well be me. I put it on my board and I realized the reason why we won it is because nobody else wrote it as a goal. Maybe they thought it wasn't possible, right? They didn't even have it as a goal. It seemed almost easy to climb the ranks because a lot of people just didn't even think that they could do those things. But I'm telling you, with our system of growth, this is a step-by-step business to get to the top ranks, to win the trips. All you need to do is focus on your daily goals. And right now, there are some incredible things you need to be focusing on. These promotions, you should have not just 4, but you should have a goal of 12. 12 brand partners. Don't just get the hoodie and the $500. Everyone on here should have on their goal board, I'm going to get 12 brand partners. So what that means is you need to get 4 this week. So you can get 4 next week and 4 the next week, and you can accomplish that goal by the end of the deadline, right? And so I'm just encouraging you guys to get that Bristol board, that whiteboard, write out your goals, focus daily. What can I do today? And just be better. We can all be better. It's easy to get busy. I homeschool my kids. We all have a lot of things that we do in the run of a day, but you got to cut out some time to do some things that are maybe a little out of the norm, prospect some people, make some calls, get a hold of your customers, convert those customers. Always just talk about what's in it for them, the benefit for them. I got to stop because I'll go all day. We're way over time, but anyways, let's do this, you guys. That's like
Hey,
10
I do want
minutes.
to. I do want to say, Joni, when we were at your all's house, there, no lie, their whiteboard is right there. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, you hit every single one of these goals and blew it out of the water. Our second call, Joni said, we want to be number one. We want to be number one. We're going to be number one. And look where they're at now. They put that on their goal. They put that on their board, and look what they've accomplished. I'm so glad you guys are in our lives.
I mean, they are the #1 top global power rankers. It is huge. I mean, everybody made a big deal. Susan Frank was, I think it was almost a year and a half, Todd. How long was Susan Frank there? And, and James wasn't, they thought James was going to stay there for about another year. And suddenly up comes Chris and Joni with your dad on your tail there, heading up there with everyone else having that as a goal. And so you didn't talk about it much, you did it. You guys had your goals. We didn't see that on your whiteboard, but you did. So super impressed by everybody and can't wait to get out there. And there's lots of talent going to be in the room. And, if you are within an hour or more of these meetings, make an effort to be there because we won't be coming back for a while. And it helps you when you're talking about the business to bring someone along and then they hear another person talking about it, showing the videos, showing all the new IT, showing the improved slides that we have for the presentation. So, and Sarah has these amazing invitations that she's put together too. So can't wait to meet all the Canadians. And for all the US group, thank you for listening to Canada this morning and giving us some love. We're better together.
You've got to be prepared. You never know when your business goes somewhere. You got to get prepared for Europe, Australia, China, and we'll be doing that the next couple of months.